Because I'm obsessed with Batman at the moment. That's what it's always going to come back to Batman. Like,
it's completely understandable, seeing as if you are watching a lot of Batman at the moment, then you are going to be talking about a lot of Batman.
I am. I'm watching a lot of Batman at the moment.
So we seem to have differing opinions.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. I want you to go first.
I did my homework, and you mentioned on Twitter that you thought that Batman Returns was, how do I put it, a bit of a mess?
A huge mess, yeah.
A huge mess.
A huge mess.
Like shit, just clunky.
All the way through, me and the missus. Like, don't get me wrong, we had a blast watching it. We had a great time. But it is very muddled and very confused, that film. It's not dull in any way, shape, or form. Like, we were saying that all the way through it. Like, the third act particularly is very messy. Like, in the third act, Chloe turned to me, my girlfriend, and was like, "What's happening?" And I had to go to her, "I'm not sure. I was like, I'm not entirely certain what's happening." But neither of us were bored. Like, it's not dull. We kept saying, like, well, at least it's not dull. Like, we really enjoyed it as a laugh, but it wasn't like coherent in any way.
Right. So because you said this on Twitter, I was like, I actually like Batman Returns a bit better than Batman.
I think that's insane.
You objected to that, so I did my homework, and I got both Batman and Batman Returns, and I watched them not on the same night, after one another. And I have to mention first, it's insane. I haven't seen Batman in years. Like, I don't remember the last time I've seen it. It's insane how well that movie holds up.
Oh yeah, no, it is great. But the first one is great.
I mean, Michael Keaton is a bit short, but he manages to put down a Bruce Wayne and a different Batman. It's like, without putting on a silly, scary voice, he's still, you know which one is Bruce Wayne and which one is Batman. And it's just so good. I just have a few minor niggles with it. And the weirdest thing is that, because these are literally just niggles, how well crafted the rest of the film must be if this is the stuff that bothers me the most.
Oh, like you're almost trying to find fault with it, like
I wasn't
picking over the minutiae. Like, well, this could have been like.
I wasn't, but it's just like the stuff that does bother me. I'm like, how weird is it? Is that bothers me, and the rest is just decent.
Like the biggest criticism you can level at it is like a minor thing. So,
first thing is, I like Jack Nicholson. I do. And I think his Joker is crazier than I remember. Because when I first saw The Dark Knight, I was like, oh, this is the Joker. He is now legitimately insane. But I watched this again, Batman. And I'm like, hang on, Jack Nicholson is crazy as well. He's doing like trick shots and laughing his ass off. And in general. But I don't feel he changes much from his scarring into the Joker.
No, he very much feels. I mean, he's Jack Nicholson.
He's Jack Nicholson.
He's Jack Nicholson. In the film, he's Jack Nicholson with the volume turned up slightly, and like dialing it up a little bit more. But like he was already that character before the scarring. It's not like a transformation really, other than he gets a silly sort of scar on his face.
It becomes a little bit more flamboyant and a little bit more theatrical.
Yeah,
slightly.
Yeah, slightly, but it's not significant.
And he has this entire obsession with Vicky Vale, and it's probably the day and age that the film was made, like 1989. that he had an obsession with the girl and they had to rescue the girl, and typical damsel in distress thing.
We'll get to this later, but I don't know if this is a Tim Burton thing or if it is a product of its time or what, but my biggest problem with Batman Returns is the attitudes to women, but we'll get to that.
Him being in love with Vicky Vale of sorts, and that didn't really work for me. It's like he tries to kidnap her twice, and then the third time he managed to find her somewhere and they run up a tower, and that's it. I'm like, it's in a grand scheme of evil schemes, it's not really that evil. But then again, we'll get to that in Returns as well.
Yeah.
Evil schemes. So the Joker he's good, he's Jack Nicholson, he's fantastic. And then he says to Bruce Wayne, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And it's a good line.
It is a great line.
That is a great line. You can put that in trailers, you can put that on coffee mugs, you can put that on a fucking t-shirt with his face next to it. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense in the film.
No, it doesn't make a bit of sense at all.
Because our mutual friend tried to contest that. He's like, no, it's fine. It just gets glossed over. I'm like, he specifically says it because it's something he always says to his prey. But he never said it before in the film. It's a very, I don't want to use clunky too much, but it's a very ham-fisted way to start a flashback to show where Bruce Wayne's parents got killed. And yes. I get it. But if you've just cut out the line where he said, it's something I say to all my prey, if you just remove that one line, that would have worked seamlessly.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, he kills like about 15 dudes in the course of the movie.
He kills so many people. And he never once says, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
No, he doesn't even say it to like the fucking crime boss, does he?
No.
Oh, God.
Or the police officer he shoots in the chemical plant.
Yeah, quite right.
Yeah, Batman 89 is a fantastic film.
Yep, fantastic film.
It's just that I'll look at Returns and I'll see, and something I've discovered about myself talking to you about films is I really love aesthetics and set pieces and
the
atmosphere.
The Burton aesthetic. He did Gotham City better than anybody else, which is mental when you consider
because
he point blank refused to read the comics. I assume he must have at least looked at some though for inspiration, because his Gotham it feels so epic and so sort of foreboding and grimy and sort of dark, much more than any of the others do.
What I like is that often when you hear Gotham City, people go like, oh, gothic and gargoyles and cathedrals. And I look at Tim Burton's Gotham, and it's very just barely post-industrial. It's factories, it's blocked buildings, it's narrow alleys. It's
a lot of steam.
Bricks.
A lot of steam coming out of vents in Tim Burton's movies.
It's not a bad thing, but in his Gotham works so much better than any random church gargoyle you could find and hang Batman on.
Yeah, I would argue actually that the movies that came after don't do the gargoyle thing either, and they have a different aesthetic again. But his is the best. The Nolan ones have like a sort of a modern day metropolitan feel to them, like a New York or a London. A lot of sort of steel and glass skyscrapers and stuff. Feels very modern. And then we discussed it last time, like the Neo sort of, the Joel Schumacher ones are all sort of neon and fluorescent. But the Burton ones are the best. The Burton ones look and feel the best.
I must admit that, you got a point when you say that the ones after one don't do gargoyle gothic either, but it's just a general theme that Batman seems to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
When you look at the comics.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Burton's industrial Gotham is the best one.
Yeah, this is my fave, like by a mile as well.
And I think in Returns they managed to crank that one up even better. He definitely has more budget to work with, and he basically gets given free reign, and I fucking love that entire city he puts down. It feels bigger, it feels more vast, it feels like an actual city. Now, I'll freely admit that movie's got a lot more flaws and a lot more weird stuff about it.
Oh.
But is it weird that you can say that one movie is better made, but another one is your favourite.
No, it's
Because
not.
I feel like I had the same thing with Alien 3. Like, in no way will I ever claim that Alien 3 is better than Alien or Aliens.
Well, the classic
it's
example.
my favourite.
The classic example here is Rocky 1 won an Oscar, but no man in his right mind would tell you that Rocky 1 is better than Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is the best one, and everyone knows it. But like, it's not a better film. Like, it was never going to win a fucking Oscar, but it is way more fun. Like, everybody prefers Rocky 4.
So, in Batman Returns, it starts off a lot more Adam's family with the Penguin.
Yeah, I never really thought about that, but yeah, it does.
I felt that was like literally Adam's family, the way his hand comes out of the cage and he grabs the cat.
Yeah, that is very, now that you mention it, very, very Addams Family.
So, it's things like that, and the lack of coherency with the Penguin. It's like he's never really in charge of his own works. Well, he is at the beginning, but then he gets taken away his agency by Max Schreck.
Yep.
By the way, Christopher Walken, great in this film.
Yeah, he is brilliant. He's
A
brilliant
scummy scumbag.
Yeah, he's awful. He's such a sleaze.
And I like Penguin running for mayor, and I like it's so reflective of current day society in a way.
No, I absolutely I did not anticipate how much it would look like great political satire. Fucking almost 20 years on, I was
so fucking unintentional.
I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I had the exact same moment. I'm pretty sure me and my better half had to pause the film and discuss it and be like, okay, you have noticed this as well. Like, this is clearly Donald Trump that is the Penguin. Like, fucking incredible.
Well, he was around back then, wasn't he? So it might have been. It might have been a parody of him without being a direct parody.
I don't know,
because
the political leanings and stuff. Like, Jesus, incredible.
And you got Catwoman, and I think that Catwoman, despite being somewhat mystical, but it's a Tim Burton film, so it's always going to be slightly weird.
See, Catwoman is where things really fall apart for me, but I'll let you have your say first, yeah.
Because I really like the vengeance thing she has going on. It makes more sense to me than random lady dresses up like a cat in the city that features a guy that dresses up like a bat she steals things.
Well, no, she's a cat burglar.
Well, she is a cat burglar.
Hence cat, that's a thing. That's an established thing.
She wasn't always a cat burglar.
No, fair enough.
She actually started out like a crime boss with a dress, and then Black Cat came along, the Marvel Comics character, and they deliberately...
Oh, and DC were like, well, there's money in this.
Exactly.
Okay. I never knew
That's
that.
the fucking weirdest thing. It's like a character that's derided for being a copycat,
is actually the original.
Is actually more original than the thing that everybody thinks is based on.
I had no idea about that. That's fantastic.
Like Lex Luthor the businessman. Everybody's like, oh, look at Lex Luthor the businessman. And then meanwhile, you got Kingpin walking around with a bald head going like, so what? I did it first.
Yep. Kingpin's way cooler than Lex Luthor, but that's a different story.
That is a different story. So, Penguin has no real evil schemes aside from wanting to kill lots of people in a weird, misguided idea of a vengeance. But you said you had issues with the way Batman Returns treats women.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Upon care.
So, like, and the missus pointed this out as well. So first of all, when we first meet Selina Kyle, Catwoman, she is just sort of mild-mannered, put upon secretary
Mousy.
to Max Schreck, and she's all timid and stuff, and like she offers that little thing in the business meeting, and they all basically laugh her out of the room, like, imagine a woman having an opinion, right, fellas? And like, it's fine because they're meant to be dicks, so that's fine. It's probably that is reflective probably of the time. But then like she's like beating herself up about it later on. She's like, "Oh, stupid! I can't believe I like offered an opinion. Like fucking hell! Like she's so like down on herself." And then like she gets home and she's got like messages on her answer phone from her mother being like, "Are you ever gonna get married? You're like a sack of shit." Like her mum's just awful to her because she can't find a man. And like bear in mind, she's Kim Basinger. Oh, Kim Basinger can't find a man. No, it's not. Sorry, Michelle Pfeiffer can pass it to Vicky.
I was about to say.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer can't find a man. Fuck off, right? Like, but it gets worse from there. Like, the Catwoman's got a whole score of problems in this movie. But even aside from her, like, there's the bit where Penguin is on the political campaign trail at one point, and there's just this weird aside where, and we've never seen this part of his character before ever. He just suddenly starts doing this weird aside where he's like, "Oh, I'd like to get my hands on her." Like, there's some just lecture over some woman. It's all like, and again, it's always the bad guys doing this. But fucking, it's just so weird and creepy. And it's like, well, why is it even in the film? Like, why is the Penguin's character? He's already like a cannibal and a weirdo, right? Why does he have to be a fucking pervert into the bargain as well? Like,
in fairness, they do keep that side of his character up once they've introduced.
No, they do. They bring it up again later on because again, there's all the weird stuff with Catwoman. Well, oh my god, there's one line in particular later on where there's a bit where Catwoman and him are like having the chat, and he's trying to get on her, and she's all like keeping him at arm's length, kind of thing. He says something about like, "I'd love to get my hands on this pussy" or something.
Yes.
It's fucking vile. It's awful. Like, that was too much for me. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to make me balk, but I was like, no, I am out. This is fucking too much now. And again, like, the only reason it's good is because of the hilarious Trump comparison. Like, I want to grab you by the pussy. I'm a star. They let you do it. Like, but yeah, that's right. It's just so weird and like, and it's been a week or two since I watched it now. But there's like, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Her arc is like, she's just like put upon woman, and then like, she has her breakdown or whatever, and then it's just like, oh, I fucking hate men. Ugh. Like, that's no fucking arc. That's no kind of character arc to have for like a woman who's been scorned. Oh, she's been mistreated, and now she just hates all men.
I don't think her arc is that she hates all men all of a sudden. She just becomes very... Yeah, well...
No, doesn't she have like a specific... She has a specific line about like, oh, especially men. Like, she hates men now. Like, what? Fuck off.
Well, not towards Bruce Wayne.
No, not towards Bruce Wayne, and that is an important plot point, but...
She attacks that harasser as well in the alleyway. Yeah. So it might just be a specific kind of man she's then being condescending towards.
No, does she not, like, say to that woman who's being attacked in the alley, doesn't she say something about, like, all men are pricks or something? Like, it's so weird. It's just, I don't know, it just made me feel weird and gross.
Because the relationship between Batman and Catwoman in this film is great, because they both start off as outside identities, and I really like the fact that you just said yes it is in mid-rant, because they both start out as outside identities towards each other. They gravitate towards one another, and then they discover their secret identities because of, I must admit, the same kind of ham-fisted line that
exactly the same
that was, except instead of leading to a ham-fisted flashback about how his parents died, this was about, oh my god, we're actually enemies. Do we now have to fight one another? That is such a great line and such a great setup. I literally, to this day, it's like one of my most favourite incarnations of Batman and Catwoman together.
No, they're great. I think the best thing Burton does in that is when they go to the masquerade ball, they're the only two not wearing masks. And it's like...
Shit!
And it's like, oh... They're not wearing because that's the facade. Like, their true personalities are Batman and Catwoman. But when they're here at this masquerade ball, they've got their human faces on. And that's the best thing he does in the whole fucking film. That's fantastic.
I can't believe it took you to tell me to say that I'd realised that.
Look up the IMDb trivia page one day, mate.
I don't see IMDb trivia pages. Because most of those things are like, oh... You can see an extra in this scene of Braveheart wearing a watch. I'm like, fuck off. That's not the kind of trivia I'm after.
That's a separate section for goofs.
Oh, fuck you. So, like, the only thing I dislike about Catwoman is that her entire plot arc is about taking revenge on Max Schreck. But then again, he's such a scummy scumbag that he deserves to die.
He does, but then even, like, I don't know, the Catwoman for me is the most problematic thing about the film. Like, Penguin's got issues as well. There are issues with the Penguin character. I mean, like you said, the Addams Family stuff, I think it goes a little too far. And my biggest problem with Batman Returns, I hadn't watched Batman Returns in years. It had been over 10 years since I'd seen it last. And the last time I watched it, I was saying to people, and I've always said to people, like, it feels more like a Tim Burton film than a Batman film. And upon watching it again, I was like, yeah, now I know what I mean by that is, like, it's all the stuff with the Penguin. That doesn't feel like a Batman villain. That feels like a quirky villain from a Tim Burton movie. And, like, the stuff where he, like, he eats cats? Fucking hell, like, that's like, it's just weird and, like, a bit...
No, that was a threat.
It's too far. No, like, there's a bit where he pulls the cat into the thing and eats it, doesn't he?
Okay, in the beginning, yeah, okay, sorry. I thought
yeah,
like... I thought he was
like,
threatening
he eats cat, like, just weird. Like, what the hell? That's just strange. Like, it's too far for me. It's too much of a Tim Burton thing.
I think it would have worked better if he, despite the fact he grew up in a sewer and was a weird creature, what he was, he tried to act all dignified.
Yeah, that would have been better.
I think that would have worked slightly better.
And that's problematic. And, like, why were there penguins in the sewer that raised him? Like, as if he was Mowgli in the Jungle Book. That didn't make any sense. It never addressed. Very strange. But, like...
Wasn't it, I don't want to call it a dolphinarium, like, an animal exposure down there? That's where he lived.
Why was it in the sewer, though?
Because it's linked to the sewer. I don't know.
So, I mean, it's just weird. Like, it's just fucking slapdash odd. But yeah, he's like, that's all weird and a bit shit. Like, oh, he's raised by penguins, whatever. He's a literal penguin. But I will say that take on Penguin is very, very interesting. There's a lot of very cool, very interesting ideas that he does with that character, even if it is slightly problematic. The Catwoman one is just, it, like, at best is lazy, and at worst is just awful and misguided. Like, he seems proud of the fact, I didn't read the comics. It's like, well, it never becomes more apparent in the Catwoman stuff, where, like, the whole scene where she is pushed out of the window by Shrek, that's a weird sentence, she's pushed out of the window by Max Shrek. Yeah, you've got to add Max, otherwise it just sounds weird.
Donkey!
Yeah. Max Shrek pushes her out the window. Like, that, how does she survive anywhere, whatever? And then, like, the cat comes and bites her on the hand, and all the cats come out and start licking her, and that, you know that power that cats have where they can bring you back to life if they lick you hard enough?
Yes.
No, me neither. Like, and, like, Tim Burton, right, he must have fucking gone, well, Spider-Man was bitten by a spider and he turned into a Spider-Man, so I guess fucking Catwoman gets bitten by a cat? I don't fucking know. Like what? What was that all about? The fucking stuff with the cat and the liquor, and then suddenly she goes home, and then it's suddenly just, now I can do backflips loads. Like, where does she get the ability to do fucking backflips and stuff from? She's a timid secretary 1 minute, and then she gets pushed out of a window and licked by some cats, and then suddenly is, like, able to fist fight men and do backflips. It makes no fucking sense. It's terrible. It's either lazy or really, really bad. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And it only gets worse. Like, why does she kiss and electrocute Shrek at the same time to kill him at the end? It's bizarre. It makes no sense. It's just weird. It's just a load of disjointed, weird ideas that Tim Burton had. And I think that the Catwoman character is where that film really, really falls apart.
Are you okay?
I'm done.
Okay. I was going to interject a few times, but you were...
Oh, you could... No, you could have cut me off.
No. you were going on your little tangents. I'm like, okay, he needs to get this off his chest. Right, so I really don't know what to say to you about this, because I see where you're coming from when you say it's either lazy or bad. But I, on the other hand, I just love it quasi-unconditionally. Like, I see less problems with her than I do with Penguin.
Really?
And, yeah.
But at least his story makes sense. It's problematic, but at least there is a narrative, there is a logical narrative reason for him to have the abilities that he does. Why can she survive being pushed out of a fucking skyscraper?
I don't think she ever died, but that's neither here or there.
Why does she survive? Why is she not fucking mush? It's bollocks.
She got shot several times, like at the end of the film. So
yeah, but at least she sells that. She's like dying. Why does she like even the minutiae? Right? She's this fucking like shrew, basically, isn't she? Yeah, before
Yes.
before her transformation. Why does she have a fucking leather catsuit in her wardrobe? What was she saving that for?
She made it.
But she's got the leather thing, and she modifies it, but it's
She's
in the
got a
wardrobe.
leather jacket, yes.
Man, honestly. It's terrible.
They show you a montage of her making
So
it.
bad. Oh, is it only from a jacket? Okay, I thought she picked out a leather number and modified
No,
it.
it's a leather jacket,
all right.
and she makes it, and...
Fine, I'll forgive the leather jacket then, but
That's
everything
why
else...
it's all stitched.
Everything else can fuck off. Again, I will say, I don't dislike the film as such. Like, it's not boring. It's it's a romp, but...
I'll freely admit that, yes, it's weird as all fuck, but I at least... Okay, it's a very Tim Burton movie, maybe not so much a Batman movie, but in my opinion, at least it's from, like, a good era of Tim Burton.
Oh, no, definitely. Like, it's one of Tim Burton's better films. But... And then the other big problem, the incoherence, right? Act 3. So, what... Tell me... Excuse me, what is the Penguin's endgame in this film?
The Penguin was going to be mayor, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
followed that bit.
Bruce Wayne exposed him by using that video recording he did of him saying, like, I'm gonna fuck this whole town over, like, whatever the fuck he said, something
I'm gonna
about...
sneak into our houses at night and wreck up the place.
Yeah, like Richard Nixon. I was gonna say, like a bowl of dog snot, like in Problem Child, but, you know, is that Problem Child or is that UHF? One of the two. It's weird how many times that trope gets used. You know, UHF?
The Weird Al movie.
Yeah, the Weird Al thing. Either that one or Problem Child has the bad guy saying the city is worth as much as a bowl of dog snot. Something like that.
Good line.
It's a good line.
But yeah, so when does the Penguin army come into it? Because even up to the bit where he's like, all right, fuck it, they've ruined me. So as revenge, we're gonna go biblical on their ass. We're gonna go biblical and kill all the firstborn children.
That was his plan from the beginning. He was trying to butter up the town and then, you know, try to take all their firstborns because he was gonna go all biblical on them. But then Max Schreck came in and he's like, hang on, I got this idea. You've got to be mayor. Unfucking believable.
This guy is unfucking believable.
But the fuck, right? Like,
so
when is the Penguin army established? It just happens.
It already was. There was already a Penguin army. It was. He already had the massive penguins.
No, he had the penguins, but like, at what point in the film did he say to somebody like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to weaponize these fuckers"? And then he doesn't, and then suddenly it just happens. It just turned loose on the town. Like, I didn't have a clue what was happening, and that was the bit where Chloe said to me, "Was like, where did these penguins come from?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Mind you, is it really that much out of the left field compared to the Joker saying like, "Fuck it, I'm going to unleash a giant gas balloon on the city"?
That does at least feel like something the Joker would do. He is nothing if not arbitrary.
But it's at least the same kind of level of desperation that both.
Yeah, I suppose. Like again, like it's not the issues with the Penguin weren't massive for me, but yeah, like the plot just Act 3, it doesn't feel like it is building to any sort of. It didn't feel like he knew I wanted to end the film. It didn't feel like there was like a plot point of like, oh, this is where the plot begins and this is where it kind of goes somewhere. And then it just some stuff happens. It just ends. It was weird. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it did feel like it was 3 separate stories stitched together to make one whole one.
And right, I appreciate again Nolan. He did his own thing with this, and it works on some ways, and it doesn't work in other ways, right? And the thing that really irks me, the Penguin, yeah,
yes.
The Penguin,
yes,
who's penguin themed. What animal? Yes. What big plastic animal does he ride on?
Oh, fuck off.
Duck, innit? Fucking duck, innit?
Ducky.
Why wouldn't it be a penguin? Fuck's sake. And Tim Burton, right, in the whole movie, he fucking leans so hard into, oh, penguin, I guess he's a literal penguin then. Catwoman, I guess she's a literal cat. Fucking rides a duck, doesn't he, mate? Come on. Fucking basics, Tim.
I'm sorry.
Fucking basics, Tim. Come on.
No, you're completely right in this one.
The duck is indefensible. If like every other thing, you can argue the point, but the duck cannot be defended. Why is it a duck? It's stupid.
I find it weird that in 2 films starring 1 clown and 1 penguin-themed villain, that the penguin-themed villain was all circus themed with the bad guys.
Yeah.
His guys were all like, oh, we're clowns and jugglers, and here's a sword swallower.
That did at least make sense because they were like, oh, he was in a circus freak show for a bit. So that was explained, hand waved away a bit.
Now,
but yeah, it was weird.
Now we're still on Burton as a whole. I'm very surprised that my mind's eye was corrected in... People always say, like, oh, Batman doesn't kill, right? And then everybody always brings up, oh yeah, but in the Batman Burton movies, he kills everybody he comes across. I looked at the films like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I'm like, it surprised me how little that actually happens.
I don't know, because I remember pointing that out to Chloe in the first one. He kills it over the course of the two films. He kills 6 or 7 people.
He does kill a couple, but it's never quite graphical, and it's never graphic, gratuitous.
But he does it deliberately. To be fair, he does it in Forever as well.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't do it on purpose. It's like he'll knock somebody down.
No, he
then
does.
They'll
He
fall
definitely
down.
does.
Okay. Some of them, yes, but it's like not all of them.
No, not all of them, but it's still.
It's like if you knock somebody down and they fall down a bell tower, it's very cartoony in my opinion. It's not like you say like, "Oh, look at Batman just killing that guy."
Doesn't he at one point like literally just throw like a henchman off a building though?
No.
I'm sure there's something where he just deliberately is like, fuck this guy, just kills a henchman, like just straight murders him. He does.
Pretty sure he doesn't. The worst thing I could think of is, which everybody cites, is when he takes the bomb from the one guy and then plants it on the big muscle man.
Oh shit! Yeah, he does do that. Yeah.
But then you don't even see the body. It's just that you see him fall down one of those lifts that the Americans use to supply stores with that go down into the floor. So you see him fall down one of those, and there's like an explosion. But like I say, it's very cartoony. It's not like to say like, look at Batman killing all these guys.
No, he's not like breaking necks and cashing checks or anything. But there's deliberate homicide on the part of Batman there. He does it in Forever as well, Batman Forever, which I'd forgotten about.
I haven't seen that in a while, so maybe next time.
I mean, I don't feel any great need to do a deep dive on Batman Forever. Like,
oh, okay, fine.
But Batman Forever is what it is. You get a big load of bat ass in your face, but at least
I
it's
actually
a laugh.
remember Batman Forever quite fondly. Like, it could have been a lot worse.
I thought I liked Batman Forever almost the best out of the earlier Batman films. It's the one I've seen the most, definitely. And I was like, when we watched it, me and the missus, I was like, oh, Batman Forever's a good one, don't worry about it. We found it quite hard to get through at points. It wasn't great. It was a bit of a slog.
I think by that point, Batman had turned into a formula like James Bond, like he had a different girl every movie, and
Jim Carrey's really good.
It's weird how Jim Carrey's really good, but he's basically just the Joker.
Yeah, he was definitely the Joker. Well, he was either the Joker or Jim Carrey.
Well, yes.
But he's good. He does a lot of great stick work. He does some shit with that cane in that movie that is really cool. He's got a lot of moves. A lot of twirls and stuff. And
Tommy Lee Jones is weird in the way that he's the Joker like how Jack Nicholson kind of did it.
Yeah, kind of. He does have little flourishes of sort of humanising the Two-Face character.
Like he has a character behind it, but it's not really that noticeable.
It's not, but the difference between Tommy Lee Jones and Jack Nicholson is it's so fun and so weird to see Tommy Lee Jones just fucking swinging for the fences and just really hamming it up, because you never get to see that. Chloe was like, he's so weird in this film. I was like, I know, it's Tommy Lee Jones being fucking zany, and it's so fun.
And I had to look this up for you because I wanted to make sure I got the quote right. Jim Carrey once sat down at Tommy Lee Jones's table during lunch when they're shooting this movie.
Is this where he first meets him?
Tommy Lee Jones said, like, I hate you. I really don't like you.
Isn't it?
I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
I was saying, I will not suffer your buffoonery. I
will not sanction your buffoonery. That
amazing.
Is such a line.
What a cold motherfucker.
That sounds like a movie line.
It does. It honestly does.
Somebody says that to you in your face. You're like, I can't believe you just said that to me.
Jim Carrey must be a prick, though.
I'm not quite sure.
Like,
he seems very taken with himself.
A lot of people have beef with him.
I think that might be a good indication that he might.
Yeah, like the common denominator is always Jim Carrey.
I don't want to say like he's a dick, and then just it shows like
he's an anti-vaxxer, so fuck him.
Oh right, he is an anti-vaxxer. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
So yeah, Batman Forever was like it was starting a formula, and then they absolutely fucked it with the next film. So yeah.
But having rewatched Batman and Batman Returns, do you still think Batman Returns is superior?
I like Batman Returns a lot more.
Wow.
Maybe
crazy.
it's a nostalgia factor. Maybe I've seen it more than Batman. But I'd like to point out, I said Batman holds up insanely well.
Oh, it does. It really does. Keaton's so good.
Keaton, just in general, was really fun.
He always. I saw Spider-Man: Homecoming this week. He's so good. Keaton's so good.
Oh, I get to talk to you about Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's lovely. I like that film.
I like that film a lot. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is a good Spider-Man.
He's the best Spider-Man. He's fantastic.
I did agree with that, didn't I? Yes. I don't think it's the best Spider-Man.